Welcome to a CSE Couch Chat. Today we're here with Jonathan, who is in our card services department, one of our card specialists. So, Jonathan, today we're going to be talking about the differences between credit and debit cards. And there's certainly a lot of differences that are out there. And we get a lot of questions from members regularly about how did this work or how does that work? And there's some confusion about the two. We know they're different, but can you help us explain a little bit briefly what some of those differences are?
Sure. Well, the main difference is with a debit card, it's basically used as cash, right? It comes straight from your account when making a transaction. Sometimes a hold is put on by the merchant just to make sure that the money in the transaction goes smoothly. Compared to a credit card, where that is basically you're borrowing money from your financial institution as a loan in the terms of like a line of credit. So this is something that you pay back later compared to your debit card where the money is taken out of your account instantly.
Perfect. Yeah. So both of those cards have balances referred to them, or they both deal with balances. But balance means something very different for credit cards than it does for debit cards. Can you explain what balance is for both of those and why members should care?
Yeah. Well, a balance is a sum of money, and like Tim said, they are different. For a debit card, your balance is the sum of money you have total to work with. And a credit card, your balance is how much money you have spent in your cycle. So while they're both a large sum of money, one goes down and the other goes up.
Perfect. So for debit cards, you kind of mentioned it, a balance on a debit card would be how much money you have in that account.
Right.
And then a credit would be how much money you owe
to back. Back to pay. Right.
Perfect. That makes sense. Finally, there's some confusion about when you should or shouldn't use debit cards or credit cards, or pros and cons even.
Sure, yeah.
What are some of those pros and cons to using either card in some scenarios, and what should members know?
All right, sure. So with a debit card, a pro is it better helps you avoid debt. When you're working with a budget, you're able to better maintain your spending as opposed to a credit card where you can easily spend money without knowing. Another pro would be at CSE we offer no fees, so there's no limits on your transactions or anything like that, and you're able to use your ATM or debit card at any ATM in our network, compared to other places where they might charge you a fee to use their ATM. So a con to your debit card is that when you happen to get fraud on your card or something, you have the chance of losing all your money, and it's connected to your account so they could drain everything from you. Also, a debit card doesn't help you build any credit. Actually, if not monitored correctly, it can negatively affect your credit, so that's something to watch out for. And then for a credit card, a pro is this is something that does help build your credit. You're taking a loan from your financial institution and you're promising you'll pay it back. And monthly, this is reported to our credit bureau, which then positively or negatively impacts your credit score. Another pro of a credit card is that when you are attacked by a fraudster, you have better protection because it's more of a loan rather than your own money, and you're able to kind of not lose all your money compared to a debit card. Some cons of a credit card is that while you can build your credit score, you can also build debt, which if not monitored correctly, this can severely impact your life. And also, that's just something no one wants. So.
Perfect. Yeah. So with some of the pros and cons, you did talk about if fraud happens on your card and how that can really impact, your checking account if it's on a debit card or your credit card even.
Right.
But the card programs have come a long way in the last 10 to 15 years where there's a lot of protections if there is fraud on a card. Can you talk just quickly about that and reassure members that regardless you're okay?
Right, yeah. So we get fraud claims every day, and when that happens, we review it and we are able to give what's called provisional credit. So that way, even though your money was taken, you still have a buffer to work with. And that is offered on our debit cards, and however on credit cards, when you notice fraud, we will still take the same steps. There's just no provisional credit because it is a loan. and it's not money straight from your account. So you're protected either way.
And in both of those cases, whether it's from insurance or other ways, there's ways for members to recover money that is lost.
Absolutely.
So perfect. So cards have certainly become more commonplace and are replacing cash at a very rapid pace.
Yep.
There will be a lot more to come with differences between credit cards and debit cards and how to use both responsibly and to your advantage as a cardholder. So Jonathan, thank you for your time, and I look forward to doing this again sometime.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right.